Planning your first trip to Italy, but don't know what to expect when you get there? I'm here to help you skip that learning curve. If you're new here, I'm Sam, and I'm an American living in Bologna, Italy with my husband, Chris. Today, we're sharing all the tips we wish we knew to make your trip smoother and more enjoyable, and maybe even save you from a minor meltdown or two. We're talking must-have apps, cultural quirks, packing essentials, and some bonus travel tips to top it off. Really quick, this video is in no way sponsored. These are recommendations based on our personal experiences that have led us to want to genuinely help you plan your next trip to Italy. Let's get tipsy, y'all. Let's kick things off with the tech that you will need to make your life so much easier in Italy. Trust me, there's a few good apps that could save you time, money, and a lot of confusion. So here's what you're gonna want to download. Google Maps. The ultimate lifesaver for navigating Italian cities. It might seem like a no-brainer, but the reason I'm mentioning it is because you can download those maps offline ahead of time in case you don't have cell coverage when you get here. Had we known this, we could have saved ourselves from getting lost on our very first trip here. You can mark all the things that you want to see with notes, so when you're here, you can just quickly reference it in the app on the go. I'm gonna link my Florence and my room Google Maps below for you to check out. We personally use the Trainline app for 95% of our train travel here in Italy. The app lets you easily book train tickets across Europe and even some bus tickets too. It provides real-time schedules, fare comparisons, and instant ticket bookings all from your phone. For us, we can book everything without the hassle of a long line or a paper ticket. It works for both Trenitalia and Italo trains. Buy your train tickets in advance. High-speed trains normally have assigned seats and they can sell out, especially in the summertime. They're also a bit cheaper if you book them a little bit further out, so don't hesitate. Go ahead and book those tickets now. Most regional train tickets you have to validate before you board the train or you can face a fine, but Trainline can automatically validate the regional ticket at the time of departure via their app. One less thing to worry about. We always recommend that you learn a few phrases like hello, please, thank you, how do you say, how much does this cost before you go to any country. It can go a long way no matter what country you're going to be visiting. For us, that's Google Translate. The Google Translate app lets you instantly translate text, voice, or even images. The camera feature is my favorite because you can literally take a picture of a menu or a sign, you point, you scan, voila, you know what it says. You can download a specific language to your phone to save the data while you're here. Speaking of data though, have you ever heard of an eSIM? An eSIM is a digital SIM card embedded in your phone that allows you to stay connected without juggling physical SIM cards. Before we relocated to Italy, we actually downloaded our very first eSIM this past April through Aralo. It was easy to use and really, really cheap. It took us less than 5 minutes to install it. And then once we landed, we had immediate connectivity. Before we learned about this, we were paying our international plan through our American cell phone provider, which charged us around $10 a day. But on our first trip here, we stayed for 8 days, and that really added up quickly. When we were house hunting here back in April, we purchased a 3 GB plan for literally a fraction of what we would have paid our US provider. The link is in the description below to download the app before you arrive. The OG Europe travel guide is none other than Rick Steves. He literally wrote the book on traveling in Europe. Many people don't know this, but he has a free app full of self-guided audio tours for many of the major attractions. And the best part is you can download them offline so you can again save data and you can listen to them wherever and wherever. We have personally used this app when we were in the Vatican and at Pompeii and on a trip to Paris in the Louvre. WhatsApp is popular everywhere except the United States. And this is the messaging app that allows you to send texts and messages, voice calls, video calls, and you can share media just like you would on your normal app, but it's over the internet. It's free to use and it works on Wi-Fi or mobile data, and it's widely used in Italy for restaurants, taxis, hotels, and a lot more. Download these apps before your trip and you'll feel like an Italian pro in no time. Now that your phone is ready, let's talk about how you can get ready. Italy has its own set of cultural norms and unspoken rules that might throw you off if you're not prepared. So here's what you need to know. Dining times. Italians take their meals seriously. Lunch is typically from 12:30 to 2:30, and dinner, well, a lot of places aren't even open before 7:30. Just trust us though, the food is worth the wait. Make restaurant reservations, especially if you have a specific place that you're trying to get into. Restaurants, especially the popular ones, fill up really fast, and many you can reserve online, but if not, the majority of them will be available via the WhatsApp app. Tipping in Italy is a hot topic, so let me break it down for you. Unlike the US, tipping is not required and not really even expected, but it is always welcomed and appreciated. How much? A couple of euros on the table, or rounding up the bill, or leaving roughly 10% is pretty typical. Forget the 20% culture that you're used to in the States, it's just not the standard here. Tipping is more about rewarding for exceptional service more than meeting an obligation. You'll notice something called coperto on your restaurant bill, and that's the service charge. Contrary to popular belief, this fee isn't for the bread on the table. It's a restaurant service charge. It covers the basics like napkins, cutlery, and table service, sometimes bread too, and it's a standard line item on menus throughout Italy. Sometimes your water might be covered by this too, but that's pretty rare in our experience. Expect to pay around 2 to 3 euros per person. It's just part of the experience here, so don't sweat it if you see it. But speaking of water, yes, you do need to pay for water at restaurants here in Italy. It's served in fairly large bottles, and you typically get to choose between still or sparkling. Don't worry though, these bottles are typically around 2 euros, and they will last you throughout the meal. In our experience, tap water isn't really served at restaurants, but here is a fun tip. Public fountains. Most cities have drinkable water fountains throughout the town. So you can bring a reusable water bottle with you or buy one when you're here and you can refill it at the fountain for free. Italians aren't big on ice. If you want your drink ice cold, you're probably gonna have to ask for it, specifically con ghiaccio. Our advice, with the exception of a few drinks like cocktails, just embrace it. This one is a doozy. So cappuccinos are considered a breakfast drink. If you order one after 11 a.m., expect some side eye. However, it's your vacation, and if you want a cappuccino at 3 p.m., then order one. There's no rule that says you can't, it's just more of a social norm and understanding. You can also save a few euros by drinking your coffee standing at the bar. Our favorite tradition, before dinner, you can head to a local bar for an aperitivo. You order a drink, a glass of wine, and then you typically get a complimentary snack like olives or light finger foods. It's a perfect way to wind down from a day of sightseeing before you go to dinner. Public bathrooms require a small payment, like 50 cents, and some lack toilet paper. So just keep a pack of tissues handy. It's a lifesaver, just trust me on that. Halfway through means time for a refill. Yes, I'm doing baby bottle because it's during the workday, Chris is working, and I don't think I can drink a whole bottle by myself. I probably shouldn't drink a whole bottle by myself. So baby bottle it is. Okay, now that you know how to fit in, let's talk about what to bring with you to make your trip comfortable and hassle-free. Streets are often cobblestone, and while they are beautiful, they can be brutal on your feet. We rock our sneakers 90% of the time. The other 10% we're usually in comfortable shoes like boots. Our advice is to pack comfy shoes like sneakers or super supportive sandals. If you're visiting in the spring or fall, light layers for cooler mornings and evenings are a must. I personally love my leather jacket or my jean jacket for this time of year. For summer, good God, lightweight and breathable fabrics. If you didn't know this, it is hot in Italy. And last August, I thought I was genuinely melting. Unlike the States, air conditioner isn't as normal here. It's really more of a luxury. So keep that in mind before packing that super long maxi dress and sandals to walk around the town in. But if you are visiting in the summer and you're gonna plan on a church, modest clothing is a must. No bare shoulders and short shorts. Keep a scarf or a wrap so that you can grab it from your bag quickly. A lot of the larger churches will rent coverings for a couple of euros if you forget to pack something. We'd still recommend that you bring something, especially if you're visiting smaller cities where the churches might not have that service available. In winter, warm coats, scarves, gloves, boots, especially for the cities here in northern Italy, Italy. Bologna, it has been very cold with the highs in the 40s and the lows in the 20s. And I personally wear a full-length jacket, mostly because I'm a giant baby when it comes to cold weather, and I don't leave my house without a scarf. Go for a secure cross-body bag with zippers to keep your belongings safe from pickpockets and keep it in front of you at all times. Pickpocketing is more of a hazard in the larger cities and more densely populated tourist areas, but it can happen everywhere, and it would really suck to happen on your vacation. You're going to need the Type-C adapter for all of your devices. For long sightseeing days, we highly recommend a portable power bank. I recommend a solar-powered one, but any power bank is incredibly helpful. So the voltage here is 220, and many US electronics aren't rated for that, like my hairbrush dryer when we came over and my straightener. So before you pack that in your bag, check the appliance and see if it's actually compatible. It will say 220 on the label. Finally, let's wrap up with some general tips that help you navigate your trip like a pro. Money. Okay, cash versus cards. While cards are accepted in most places, small businesses and local markets definitely prefer cash. Just carry some small denominations of euros. You'll thank us later, especially if you need to use the restroom. When you are going to get cash out of the ATM, make sure it's an actual ATM and not some random standalone ATM. Those standalone ATMs charge horrific conversion rates and usually a fee involved as well. When you're getting the cash out, they're gonna ask if that you want them to do the conversion, but don't fall for this. After you insert your debit card, you get the amount of cash you want to take out, and there's typically a screen that's gonna pop up asking you about the conversion. You want to decline whatever conversion they're going to be offering you. What this means is that you are choosing to let your bank back home do the conversion for you, which is typically at a more attractive rate. Really quick, I realized as we were editing the video right here, is that this is not financial advice by any stretch of the imagination, and you need to check with your bank to see what the rules are around getting cash out in a foreign country. For us and our banks, this is what we have found works the best in terms of conversion rates as well as fees. This also applies to online purchases like Amazon as well. Always pick to pay in euros. So just be aware that strikes happen definitely more frequently here than I think we see in the States. While the majority of strikes are centering around things like transportation, so trains and buses, many types of professions here can go on strike. Two really quick examples of us being impacted by strikes. So this past November, while we were traveling in Florence with our friends, the museum workers went on strike, and many of the museums were shut down for a day. As you can imagine, anyone that had tickets for that day and maybe was only in town for one day were very upset. Example number two. This past summer, a large amount of trains went on strike, and a fellow student of mine at my language school was actually caught unprepared and ended up getting stuck in Pisa. While they were able to find an alternative transportation method to get back, it created a lot of stress for them that day. While this can be hard to plan around, just make sure that you're constantly checking the internet for any scheduled strikes. A lot of them are scheduled in advance so that you'll have notice, and check the amount of time too, and just have a backup plan just in case. We hope these tips help make your first trip to Italy unforgettable. We wanted to keep this video super short and sweet, so there are probably dozens of more tips that we could have mentioned. Let us know in the comments below what tips you'd recommend or any questions that you might have. If you found this helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more travel tips and adventures in Italy. Cheers, y'all.